This is Again for the First Time with your host, Darren Redmond.
Hello, everybody. This is Darren Redmond again for the first time. I am talking to, in my opinion, just one of the most knowledgeable people in hockey today. Played in the pros, coaches young kids, and just a wonderful human being. And with the Stanley Cup Finals upon us right now, there is nobody in the world, and I mean this sincerely. First of all, I miss him terribly because we're friends back in California and friends now, but there's a long distance. Kevin Kaminski, Killer, is with us. How
I lost you, Red.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I'm going to just, everybody, I just want to tell you that Kevin Kaminski, Killer, is one of the smartest people I know in hockey, a good friend. And with the Stanley Cup upon us right now, there's nobody I'd rather speak to more than Killer. Killer, how you been?
Been good. Just, recuperating from hip surgery with a new hip and also just a new knee here a month ago. And getting through that, and then just been recruiting hard and getting ready for our SJHL draft coming up on Tuesday.
Let's talk a little bit of surgeries. Is this from something that happened recent, or is this from back in the playing days?
Oh, just back from the playing days, buggered up the knee a few times, going to hit guys and they duck and land, on your leg or just above your knee and do some damage. And just the wear and tear of the game. And also said I loved every sport there was, and I played every sport pretty hard. And it's just the wear and tear throughout the years, and it's as you get older, it's catching up on me. Lost you, Red.
Kevin, are you there?
Yeah.
All right, excellent. Do you want to try put your video camera back on? Let me see, hold on. There he is. Can you see me? Because this sounds much better.
Yes.
Excellent. All right, so we're gonna just start it from here as if that other stuff never happened. 3, 2,
Okay.
1, go. Hello, everybody. This is Darren Redmond again for the first time, and I am so privileged to have with me somebody that is a friend and somebody that is the most knowledgeable person in hockey that I know. Played in the pros. We know that already. One of the most hated people for the New York Ranger fans to this day. He made the book about the most hated things for the Rangers, and which is a great thing. As a Ranger fan, I absolutely love this man. Gave his heart on and off the ice. He is a wonderful coach right now up in SJSL. And Kevin Kaminski, Killer, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing good, Red. Just back in Saskatchewan here, waiting for this darn wind to stop. It's been blowing here for the last week, man. It's been nuts. So
Oh, I hate that. I hate
yeah,
that.
waiting for some summer weather finally. But I guess the good thing is we still got hockey. So
Oh, absolutely. And we're going to definitely talk about that. So you have a draft coming up right now for your team. Walk us through that. How do you prepare?
well, I've got head scout from my hometown, Churchbridge, Rob Fiola, and then we have it worked out good. My assistant, Kyle Schneider, he's going to be help coaching and video coach with Hockey Sask, so he gets to go to these events and watch these kids as well. But so do all our other scouts whenever they have. I think it's the top 160, then it goes to the 180, and then they pick the team from there. So yeah, we got a lot of scouts here in Saskatchewan, kind of all over the province. And like I said, I don't get to see these kids much during the season. And so I have all the trust and faith in them that when it comes Tuesday draft day, that we're gonna have some very good picks. And then we just then it's just wait and see how they develop and proceed through bantam and midget.
Excellent, excellent. Because there are different thoughts to how that's done. Obviously, there needs to be trust. Some are more hands-on, hands-off. Some build from the 10D on out. Some take the best available player. What's been your philosophy without giving anything away? Do you take more of a philosophy point, who's going to fit in, or do you go more talent, or do you go more need?
Well, I guess that depending on what you need, but most of these kids, or a lot of these kids get drafted by the WHL. So anywhere from the first round to the fifth round, we kind of don't take, because they're probably going to be playing in the dub at some point, and no sense wasting a draft pick. But now, fifth or sixth pick and up, or the dub rounds, then those opportunities where they're missing a little bit of something, they still might have that opportunity to make the dub. But if not, they'll come down and be good SJHL junior players.
That's great. I mean, so you look for that talent that got overlooked, maybe, or that person that has a flaw. And I don't use that flaw as a negative thing. It's just something they need to work on. And boy, are they blessed to have you and your coaching staff to help them with that. And
yeah, it's and like I said, how expensive hockey is, and there's a lot of kids that play double A too instead of triple A that just can't afford it, or something like that, where we go watch a lot of double A games as well, and because there's definitely some diamonds in the rough in double A as well.
Excellent. So talk a little bit about, not just, of course, I'm saying this because my Rangers lost, I mean, in general, because I mean, as a professional and now as a coach, as a professional player, and now as a coach, how do you maximize getting the players the rest that they need, the win, but yet they got to win now, and and then get them mentally ready for the next round? And how do you get them prepared? And as a player, how did you prepare? For the next big series or whatever the case may be, because it's a mental and physical grind.
100%. It's well, I'll tell you what, it's so much easier to prepare just for yourself rather than 25 guys or a whole team. And just what, I had your Rangers picked to actually win the Stanley Cup this year,
Me
and
too.
on the other side of it, I had Dallas going
Me
to the
too.
finals.
Me too.
But those fell apart here in the semifinals. But like I said, it's hard to, I obviously between the semifinals and the finals starting tomorrow night, the players got a lot of rest, which I'm sure they needed. So I'm sure Saturday or tomorrow when the puck drops, man, I'm sure it's going to be guys flying over, trying to set the tone, get the big hits, and you know what, Brad Marchand was right, man. Like you're playing to win. You're playing to, try and hurt someone when you're hitting. I mean, it's that cup only comes once in a while, and you have the opportunity to grab that, man. You gotta go balls out, and still gotta play smart, right? But when there's opportunities to finish checks, and especially on D man, that's where and I tell you what, McDavid was getting banged around, but again, he just fought through it. Probably got one of the nicest goals, the final game. But that's just about being a warrior. You have to play through not only the adversity of the travel and all that stuff, but you've got to play through the injuries and the mental toughnesses where it's got to come out in you, and to play hurt and to play tired and all that stuff, to do whatever it takes to win the Stanley Cup.
Because as you know, I mean, it is not easy to get back to. You got to do another 11 and a half months worth of stuff just to get back to where you are at that moment right now. Finish the job. What do you think of the coaches who, and I remember Phil Esposito railing about the fact that he wished Fred Shero, as I go back in time because I'm an old man, would have kept the team in hotels, even for home games during the playoffs, just so that they weren't bothered with life, with the wife and and not that there's anything wrong with the wife, but you know what I mean, just the day to day, treat it like a road game. He said they were more focused. He's talking about the Rangers in '79 when they went up against Canadians. They were more focused on the road than they were at home. What are your thoughts about that? Treating it like everything like a road game.
Well, for sure. I mean, it's I think especially in the big city like New York, right? You got who knows what's going to happen with traffic and whatever else can happen in a big city, right? So I think I think it's a great idea. I think when you're home, I know, like whenever I played on the road or whatever, you're at home, you're getting calls for tickets from your buddies, your family, whatever it is. I mean, it's a kind of a distraction. And, I think especially for the finals, I think it would be a pretty good thing to do with team camaraderie stuff. You could do at the hotel and meetings, obviously video, just your preparation, I think, it goes a lot smoother and a lot better. But on the other side of it, some guys, like I said, I think maybe the wily old veterans, they can handle the family and all that stuff.
Right.
But maybe, some of the in-between guys or the new guys just, they don't know how to, say no or whatever it is.
When did you feel during your playing career? This is very interesting. When did you feel that you were truly a veteran, that you were able to give that advice to that rookie who just came up?
Well, you know what? I was before I got traded to Washington, when I was with Quebec. Obviously, I was captain and assistant there for a little bit.
Mhm.
So that gives you good confidence from the
Sure.
coaching staff, and you want to lead by example, and obviously help your teammates out. But I really thought maybe it was you know when I got traded to Washington, and after that first year, I did get called up to play in Washington when Dale Hunter was hurt. But that same year we won the Calder Cup, and
Right.
I felt like now you know how to win and know what it takes, and all that stuff, winning the Calder Cup. And yeah, I felt that that's when you could notice if something's happened or something's wrong with your teammate or a new young guy coming in, and you just help them out along the way.
You mentioned Washington. I definitely want to talk about the Stanley Cup in a minute, but you were such an icon there. I mean, I'm not blowing smoke when I say that. They loved you there. You got commercials. You did so many. What was it between you and that fan base that just was so beautiful?
Oh, well, I obviously, like I said, I did actually I got a big charity event tonight
Oh, good
for
luck.
the Heart and Stroke Foundation, and and it kind of hits home. There's a buddy who was playing, I think, early, and he had at the rink we're playing, he had a stroke, but they had to revive his life. And his wife kind of runs it, and
Mhm.
so they have Ray Bork, Jeremy Roenick, and
Oh,
a bunch of
beautiful.
locals. Yeah, it's gonna be. I was in it last year. It's gonna be a great time, and and I think that's what, well, going back to Washington. I mean, I did a lot of charity stuff. Was there in the summer and did whatever I could for the team. But then also, I think my style of play, helped out a lot too. I think the fans uh, like the little chaos and some hitting and a little fighting and all that stuff. Yeah,
It's
so I
part of
think,
hockey.
yeah, I mean, and you know what, like I said, if there was a lineup like at the old US Air Arena
Mhm.
in Landover, Maryland, I mean, after games, I signed every autograph before I got in my car, and that's just the way I was, so it's so I think, you have that connection by talking with the fans and signing autographs and doing all the charities, and same as after practice, I wouldn't not sign an autograph for anybody that was waiting to get a picture, an autograph, whatever it was. So and then, like I said, the style of play, I think went a long ways as well.
People just, if you've listened to my podcast or heard me tell the story before, but it just chokes me up. This individual I'm talking to, Killer, um, look, you're a pro. I mean, you played at the highest level. You're coaching a junior team at the K-Time, the Monsters, the Fresno Monsters, but yet you come out with the little kids and you're dressed as the Joker on Halloween. Nobody expected that. That's who this man is. But I mean, you see the smile on his face? The gift that you gave those kids was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, uh, I've always been a very tense person. Always had to win at any cost, at whatever I did, not just at any sport or any. I always had to get the last damn word in too. That didn't help sometimes as well, but that was my personality. But off the ice, I'll do anything for the kids. We started that NHLPA up there in Fresno, and we've been doing that in the Ronge for the last 5 years. And I just love I love kids. I mean, I like, I'm what do I say? I'm hard on my kids, but I just want them to do better, junior
Yeah.
hockey, all that stuff. Be demanding without being demeaning. You
Oh,
just
I love
want,
that term. That's
you
great.
know, you and I always say that during the national anthem, I have a little routine that I go through, be pat these kids on the back when they deserve, be demanding without being demeaning, da 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 da. And and like I said, it's just I know what it takes to get there. I want them to, they have to learn on their own sometimes too. But when they need a pat on the back, I give them a pat on the back, and when they need a kick in the pants, they get a kick in the pants too. But as for kids, like I said, I would do anything for the young kids, and I got 4 granddaughters now, and I try and spoil them as much as I can, and be I think as a dad, you're busy, you're on the road, you're not sometimes you're not a dad, right? And
Right.
now I'm trying to be what I couldn't be before as a grandparent whenever I see them, because that's just life gets in the way, and when the granddaughters come over, it's just like, okay, turn the phone off and have some fun with them.
Absolutely. I was watching Shorzy the other night. I just rewatched it. It's one of my favorite shows. And I swear I heard the team owner, I forget who, the young lady who plays it. She made a comment that sounded like it came just from you. And it was this, they asked her, why do you love hockey so much? And she said, I'll tell you why. Because when there's a loss, a hockey player will look you in the eyes and say, I could have done this better. When it's a win, a hockey player never talks about themselves. They say the team did this well. That's hockey. And that's the way you coach. I'm sorry. And that's the way you live your life.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's a very true statement. And I think when you do lose, and you have that kind of character in you and in the room, well, then you do something about it, right? But if you don't have other guys to have that character, then it won't work, right?
Mm-hmm.
You need that care factor. You need that, the want and the will to win. Yes, I could do better. And then obviously, if, like I said, if you have a good game, you have 2 goals and 2 assists, well, you give all your credit to your teammates. I mean, that's great passes from them, and they finished the goals, and it's just like I said, it's a team game. I could care less about the credit. It's about the team getting the 2 points at the end of the night, and everyone loves the winner, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Scouts and all that stuff. Everyone, fans, they love a winner, and who cares who gets the credit? I mean, it's the 2 points at the end of the night that matter.
So before I let you go, I wanted to ask you, if you can, to break down this finals. And that we got Florida, and we got Edmonton. And tell me what we as a fan should look for, and who do you think will win and why? The floor is yours.
Gosh, I want Edmonton to win to bring it back to Canada.
I do too, by the way, because I just do.
I was never an Oilers fan. I know back home in Churchbridge, it was all the girls in high school or elementary school were Oiler fans because of Gretzky and Messier and them. And I was an Islanders fan, right? So
Right.
I kind of got the last laugh there for 4 years anyway, until that what Gretzky biography going out of Kevin Lowe last time when Islanders won their 4th Stanley Cup in a row. And then because the Kevin Lowe and said they thought they would have been a big party and champagne, and they were all bloodied up and ice bags, and the room was kind of dismal a bit, but that's what it takes to win, right? So so yeah, I like I said, I hope I got some good buddies on Florida, or part of the Florida Panthers organization, and we know Glenn Gullitson too, that coaches with Edmonton, and it's I think it's going to be a hell of a series. I think it's going to go to 7, and kind of just what we talked about. I think Florida's going to win in 7. just to the
Florida in
fact that
7.
they got to the dance last year,
Mhm.
and you know what, now they know what it takes or what it's going to take to win this year. And I think goalie wise, I think it's going to be a spectacular duel, but I
Mhm.
think Bobrovsky is just a little bit more consistent in his game than
Mhm.
Skinner.
Yep.
I don't know, their defense, I think, is both sides are, Ekholm and on Edmonton, like, I think he's the anchor back there. But Bouchard is having an amazing postseason here. So they need him to keep rolling on what he's doing. I think they need Nurse to just play some good defense and join the rush when he can, and keep the puck out of the net. Um, so I think defensively, I think they're pretty even. So I give the goaltending just a little bit over to the Panthers. Now, forward wise, I mean, this is going to be a great matchup. I mean, you got Barkov and Kachuk. The list goes on and on there, but then you have obviously, I think two of the best players in the world in Draisaitl and McDavid, and I feel they have. I feel both teams have a lot of depth. That
Mhm.
Hyman, leading the Oilers in goal scoring.
Right.
Kane can put the puck in the net. And these guys are big bodies. So I like I said, I think it's going to be one hell of a series. I sure hope Edmonton, the Oil wins.
Mhm.
Just to bring it back to Canada again, but I just think that Panthers know what it takes from being there last year, and I think they're going to win in 7.
I think you're right. I mean, you don't need me to tell you that. I think you're right. I think the forechecking of Florida is pretty intense, and
Oh gosh,
I think that will, for me, it's going to be the goaltending and the forechecking.
right.
In Game 7.
And I tell you what, Florida absolutely comes out flying, and
Mhm.
they get pucks deep and they finish every check. It's like old school. Like
Yes.
for the first 10 minutes, man, it is absolutely fun to watch. I mean, these guys are high stepping. They're going in to finish checks and hurt you. And so if the Oil can calm that storm a little bit in the first 10 of each game, they
Mhm.
should be fine. But they've got to come out fine and try and reverse that as well.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that's exactly how Edmonton wins this series. If they're to win, they're going to score early and often so that Florida has to adjust. Because what Florida does real well is they wear you down. If there was a boxing, by that 8th and 9th round, those hands are coming down. That third period, Florida owns that third period just from the
Right,
physicality.
right, 100%. I agree, and that kind of reminded me. They kind of remind me of the first year I coached in Ronge here. We just wore teams down, and the third period, man, we just took over, and that's kind of reminds me of Florida reminds me of, and like they're third, fourth liners. They're gonna have to really grind it out and you know, sacrifice the body and do all those little things to do whatever it takes to get the W.
Oh, absolutely. Kill, I want to thank you for being my guest and good luck tonight on the benefit. And you're a good man. I miss you very much. Cigars on me when I see you next time.
Yeah,
We're gonna
gosh,
have a great time.
wish we could go have a cigar right now.
I would love it. I would absolutely love it. Be well, my friend. I'll talk to you down the road.
All right, sounds good, Red. Say hi to the family, and it was great talking to you.
Bye now. Take care.